Rosemary Mabini of Pasig City. This is kind of off topic, Pastor. But Pastor, what can you say about the devastation in Hawaii the past few days? Lava is engulfing the Big Island, and as we can remember, there have also been flash floods in Hawaii last April, just days after what happened to you in Honolulu. Is this a form of judgment warning those who did evil things to you in Hawaii? The tragic scenes went viral on social media, and it reminds us of Sodom and Gomorrah where it rained fire and brimstone.
Uh, I hope it's just a coincidence. I hope it is not a judgment from God for what they have done. It's really, for me, it's really a form of persecution, a religious persecution that happened there. I hope that I have already forgiven those authorities in Hawaii. Who, attorney, I am a very law-abiding citizen.
Yes, Pastor.
In my travel, random checks, especially in private jets, are always there to happen, no? And I respect authority. I respect the powers that be, especially if they are doing their duty.
Yes, Pastor.
And I will even thank you for that, even when I was riding commercials. Inspecting, raising your hands, putting off your shoes. And that is really laudable. And I respect the authorities for doing their job,
Yes, sir.
for doing their duty for our safety. In this case, what I have observed is that I think without a shadow of a doubt, when I saw the authorities, Customs, Homeland, and the federal police gather around us, and I saw their attitude. I would respect them if they have been doing their duty like many other times for random inspection. But this time, it was different.
There was abuse.
It was an abuse. I observed their attitude was different. They were sarcastic, and they were very personal in their inspection. Even making high fives like that in front of us,
Yes.
and laughing, and they even threw my Bible on the floor. So I thought that these people have been poisoned by some jealous groups or people. Their minds were poisoned. The way they questions my companions in the jet, like Stephanie and Brother Inteng, their questions were very personal. Personal matters at that, and also about the ministry. So what I've gathered from this is that they were poisoned in their mind. So I thought to myself that they lost their professionality in doing their job. So I just prayed for them, and in my heart, because my precept and concept of ministry is love your enemy, do good to them that hate you, I have nothing bitter in my heart against them. In fact, at that moment, I already prayed for them. I forgave them, and I said, Father, like him hanging on the cross, forgive them, for they know not what they do. So I forgave them. I was there. I was not bitter against them. I showed them the proper courtesy, and the fruits of the Spirit were still with me. I prayed for them. I forgave them for what I saw in that event. So when I went home, I also began to pray for them and forgive everyone who have been behind this. As my attorney Green in Hawaii said, there's really something behind this. And he said the main thing is that this is out of jealousy. So I forgave them. But, God in heaven is a fair judge. So when I don't find justice here on earth for something like that, for your duty, the Lord will bless you. But for something else, when it becomes spiritual and it becomes satanic and diabolic, and you as an authority is being used for that, that becomes spiritual. And when it becomes spiritual, God will be the judge.
Yes.
And I hope that they will realize that. Because when God is going to judge, He judges fairly. And there is always that, and there is always that verse in Hebrews chapter 10 that that involves punishing people who are unfair when the time comes. And I hope that this is just a natural calamity that happens, and I hope it's just a coincidence, and I hope it is not a judgment from God. Because if it is, attorney, it will not stop until they realize their mistake.
You are really that spiritual, Pastor.
Yes.
Very, very spiritual.
Yes,
Because despite what they have done against you, you still pray that it's just a mere coincidence and
Yes.
not really judgment
Yes,
for them.
I hope it is just a natural calamity
Yes.
as it is happening, and I hope it is not a judgment coming from God. I hope it is just a coincidence of what happened to me, because right after that, first time in the whole history of Hawaii, that the Kauai Island had been flooded like that, where homes were destroyed. And until now, they have not solved that problem. And this devastation that you see on TV, the Big Island is not a stranger to lava flow like that. But this is big. This is grand. This is something else.
And God gave you a very good lawyer at that, Attorney
Yes.
Green.
Attorney Green is a very good lawyer.
He's known in Hawaii as the best criminal lawyer and the best lawyer
He
in
is
Hawaii.
the lawyer of the Hawaii 5-0.
Oh, yes.
Yes.
Yeah, I know. I heard
And,
a lot of things about that,
yes,
Attorney Green.
yes.
Yeah. Is that what happened in Hawaii?
Yes, that's what's happening in Hawaii. It's just eating up all the communities around it.
And is that
it's,
even a part of the golf course?
I
damaged?
think part of
Oh,
the
yes.
golf course that we played over was already eaten up by the lava flow. And no fireman can stop that.
Oh,
No air assets of
Yes.
water can stop that. That's like raining fire and brimstone. it's really scary.
well, I'm glad that you're still praying for them, Pastor.
I
And,
pray.
it only shows.
My sojourn to the whole world is to pray for the whole
Yes,
world and spread the revolution of love.
That's a great demonstration of your
Yes,
spirituality,
yes,
Pastor. And I'm very glad to be associated with you for that.
Pastor, thank you so much. We still have next batch of text messages here. It's just a comment from Norma Escondido of Taguig City. I agree ako kay Attorney Mac na isali sa high school